So I was finally processing out at Fort Dix, New Jersey, and the last thing that the sergeant said to me was, "Please, Sergeant Bowen, get out of uniform before you go to the airport, because the citizens don't like soldiers that are coming home from overseas right now." And I said, "I'm sorry, sir, but I'm wearing my uniform. I'm proud of it. I served with pride, and I will not travel out of uniform." My name is Mike Flagman Bowen. I'm a Vietnam-era veteran and very proud to have served my country during the Vietnam War. I volunteered for the draft in 1968 and ended up in the Army. Back then it was kind of a roll of the dice because they were drafting into the Navy and to the Marine Corps. I was happy I got the Army because I always wanted to be a soldier. My father was a soldier during the World War II. He was in the Army Air Corps, and he was always my hero, of course, like fathers are. And I just wanted to serve my country in the Vietnam War. Had been going on for years, and all through high school you could watch it on TV at night. I said, I can't wait till I can join the Army and be a soldier and do something patriotic for my country that I loved. I went to Fort Knox, Kentucky for basic training, and I stayed at Fort Knox for on-the-job training, and then was deployed to West Germany, where I served with 3rd Infantry Division as a supply clerk in a huge supply depot near Schweinfurt, West Germany. I had guys that I went to high school with and played sports with, and we all went to the war to serve our country because our fathers had, and it was just what we wanted to do. And they didn't make it back. They were killed in action or blown up, died of disease, suicide. It was a sad time in history because the veteran wasn't getting what they needed. I was at the Vietnam War Memorial Wall dedication in 1982 in Washington, D.C., and I was at panel 37W looking up a friend's name who didn't make it home, never got to meet his son, who was born while he was gone. And there was a lady next to me looking up, I would guess her son's name, and I says, "Did your son die in the war?" And she says, "I'm not sure, because he's marked, there's a little asterisk next to his name, meaning his body had not been recovered. He was either a prisoner of war or missing in action." And so she had no idea where her son was, no closure of nothing at all. And that it irritated me because there was 2,500 names like that on the wall of 58,292. And so I decided that I was overdue for getting back in shape, and I thought, I'm going to run a mile for every one of those POWs on that wall, and soon got in shape and enjoyed what I was doing, running with the POW flag. And it took me 31 years, but I ran a mile for every name on the wall, 58,292 miles. And I have to add right here that I had a good coach. She was behind me all the way and kept the home fires burning while I was out there chalking up the miles.
You know, he runs every day in our town, and so people know him, they call him the Flagman. And so he runs, and this family saw him, and the dad came out and said to his kids, "See that guy with the flag? When you see him coming, you go by the street and stand and salute him." You know, I try to encourage everything that he does, but I go to all his races, every race.
I was getting close to the finish line for the Vietnam KIAs, and I would go ahead and run 3,030 miles for the Americans that died on 9/11/01. Completed that, and by now we're into the Iraq and Afghanistan war, and I decided to run a mile for every Iraq and Afghanistan soldier that died in that war, which was over 6,000. And I also attended as many of the funerals as I could and did body escorts from the airports and the Air Force bases, because I was active with the Patriot Guard Riders, a motorcycle group that was mostly veterans, and we wanted to keep serving the best we could. I'm right up close to 78,000 miles right now because I completed all of the missions that I had stacked up. And I still go out every day, almost every day, and do a few miles because it's important to me to keep that flag flying. Prisoner of war issue is important to me. The issue is more important to me than anything else. We have to remember that there's over 81,000 Americans that went to war and never returned. And I'm just trying to make the general public remember that war is hell, and many soldiers and sailors and Marines never came home.